Today we're going to learn about form design. All right, everyone hates forms. Why? Because they feel like work. You have to fill out tons and tons and tons of pieces of information. That's a lot of the fields are required, and so if you don't fill them out, you get kind of sent back to the form, and maybe some data gets lost because it doesn't submit properly, and yuck, right? So we want to make things as easy as possible on the user. So when it comes to forms, we want to keep them simple. We want to keep them organized, and maybe add a little fun, some kind of personality in relation to the form, just to kind of make things a little more lively, a little more interesting, a little more personalized. So here's a form from Cisco. You can see that it has a ton of stuff in here. Your email address, your language preference, first name, last name, password, confirm password, security phrase, on and on and on. And then there's all this information as well. Yuck. That's an awful lot of stuff. That's not really very necessary. So there's a bunch of stuff that we could eliminate and help simplify. So, we can just combine first name and last name into one field. We can just have the password be one field. If need be, you can create a show hide button so that the password is shown, whatever it is that you typed. And then you can click that hide button again, and then it just kind of becomes the dots that you normally see in password. Sometimes a problem like a typo, let's say you type a password that you use all the time and you typoed that password. Well, when you come back later and you type the password you expect is your password, it's not a password, not your password. Well, easy way to fix that problem is a little show hide button on the password. Let me see what I actually typed. We can also do something like that with the personal security phrase, and then we can eliminate these questions. The register button should be bigger, should be more noticeable. So here we are. We have simplified this entire form. You can have a user's email, their preferred language. You can have that set now or later. It doesn't really matter. Full name, right? So we've combined first name and last name into full name. Password, we've got that little eyeball that lets us show or hide. And then passphrase, that little question mark probably will have that big block of information that we can show or hide upon request. That way people know what is the passphrase? What does that mean? And then we've got a larger register button. So this looks a lot easier to fill out and less daunting. All right, so here's another form. It's kind of chunky, right? We have our first name, last name, address, date, etc., etc. Bunches of stuff here, right? Here we have the 1 year or 2 year options for subscribing to House Beautiful. And then it says, hey, if you want to add a subscription to Elle Decor, just $5 more. So there's like a little special checkbox that you can do there. There's all your payment options, and then you place order to subscribe. Now let's take a look at a redesign. So here we can see we still got the same cover, the House Beautiful cover. Subscribe now, 85% off. You can see from the previous one, it had that text up there, but it really didn't call a lot of attention to it. Yes, sign me up. Wow, look at that. Nice, kind of personal, exciting. Yes, I want to be signed up. We can make those other links, decorating tips and top designers, all that stuff kind of a little bit smaller and off to the side. It's not important to what's going on with this page. Here we've got full name instead of first and last. We have address. We have zip code. If you want to have them guess the city based off of zip code, there are zip code lookups. So it'll just automatically then turn around and populate the value of the city and the state, and then your email, and that's it. So here's a comparison side by side. We've got the original, and then we've got a redesign, and you can see the redesign is a lot simpler. It's easier. There's got a nice bunch of white space on it. It's still got all of the same elements that you need. Everything's there. It's just kind of laid out a little more cleanly and a little more simply. So here's an example of another simple form that is a little more kind of fun, a little more personalized. So, here we have reach out. Getting in touch is easy. A little bit about this digital marketing group, blah, 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 blah. What's your mom call you? That's kind of a fun way of saying first name, last name. Or, even if you just write first name. Where do we email you? There it is. What's your email address? Do you have a phone number? What is your phone number? What's on your mind? So this is the message. And then at the very end, it just says send it. And that's kind of a nice, simple form. So a good subscription page gives you a reason to subscribe, some promotional copy like, what's cool about the magazine or tagline for the magazine, photos of previous magazines, subscription options, a short and beautifully designed form like we have seen here, whatever the current magazine cover is, so that way we can essentially hit home that this is what we are subscribing to, and then a clean design that matches the look of the magazine. Now we have this example of Afar, and you can see they've already kind of pre-selected the best deal. So when somebody fills out the information and hits submit my order, they have the best deal. But the other option is available for a user. These are the good parts, right? We've got our promotional copy, your guide to traveling the world. We've got some previous issues. We've got the current cover. We've got a reason to subscribe. And then there's our two options. You can have the best deal, which is pre-selected, and then we have the not as good deal, but it is available for you should you choose to do that. Here's our beautifully designed form. You enter your information. You enter your payment information. There's a small problem right here. Afar may email me about subscriptions, events, and promotions. They've pre-selected yes, and that is a big no. You don't want to force them to opt out. You want to let them opt in. So if you have anything selected there, it should be no and not yes. Now this has a bunch of text. A lot of times users won't read that kind of text. It's a huge block of small text. It's a bit confusing, but the good thing is that it's before the button. So when you get to the button, you're probably going to glance over that and go straight to that button. Why? Because that button is big and it's beautiful and it's red and it's in your face. Same kind of thing here. We've got National Geographic as an example. We have digital, we have print, and then we have print and digital. So, hey, you can get print and digital for the same price as print. That's kind of neat. So why not? Why not get them both? And print's only like $7 more. Here's Architectural Digest. And Architectural Digest has these two options for just the magazine subscription versus the AdPro membership. When I went to the website and I looked at that, and the AdPro has like all kinds of additional things. It's a monthly fee, and it's like you have the archive for the entirety of Architectural Digest. So it says like over 100 years worth of magazines that you would have access to. So that means they must have digitized all of them from the very beginning. And that's kind of cool to be able to go back and look back at things like that. Here's the interesting thing. Architectural Digest made a new subscription page. Now check this out, right? We still have like subscribe today and receive 4 gifts. We've got this kind of location stuff going on. And then it highlights what's the best offer and why it's the best offer. Yeah, there you go. There's your forms.
So remember, when it comes to forms, number 1, keep it simple. Number 2, keep it orderly. And number 3, add some brand flair. That's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you in class.